If you find yourself trapped in a miserable cycle of dieting and binge eating, it's a pattern that can feel impossible to escape. Perhaps you've had countless attempts at meal plans, diets, or weight loss programs, leaving you to wonder if lasting change is really possible. But there is a different way. Sustainable transformation is not about temporary fixes or extreme restrictions. It's about addressing root causes, reshaping your habits, and empowering you to build a healthier relationship with food that really lasts. One of my clients, Martina, is a shining example of this approach and of how it can lead to real and lasting change. After years of struggling with binge eating and relentless yo-yo dieting, Martina finally found food freedom through our work together. In this short video, I'm sharing some of the key steps that Martina took to enable her incredible transformation. She had been battling with yo-yo dieting and a very unhealthy relationship with food since she was 10 years old. She's now around 34 years old. She had this history of disordered eating and this battle for many years, and it partly stemmed from her family members made it very clear to her that they thought she was overweight, and that's when she started to put herself on diets at a very young age, and she tried every diet going. The dieting and the food restriction ended up leading to regular binges on all sorts of food. She said that it was so hard to stop, and she described it as though her mind had switched off and it was like she had this tunnel vision for food. And this is described a lot by many of my clients who find it very, very difficult to stop once they start having a binge. She said, I was a compulsive overeater, so everything in my day-to-day life revolved around food. I had no knowledge or education around food or nutrition, but I used to binge all the time and then punish myself and not eat anything at all for a day or two, which would eventually make me binge again as I was so hungry. I was stuck in this cycle for a very long time. So she describes how this was just endless cycle, and she was so miserable. Obviously, it affected her life in so many ways. She started to work on a program, and what we first started with is decoding her food chaos. So what does that actually mean? So we started to really look at her food world. What was going on in terms of what she was eating and the effect that it was having on her physiologically. So what were those physiological reasons for her binging? She started to learn about regulating her blood sugar, so she was less likely to crave for a start. And she started to really dig deep into those eating habits. She could understand a very balanced view on eating. So it wasn't about talking about what's good and bad for her. It was more about understanding what's helpful for her and what she could put into her diet so that she could really benefit from the physiological effects of that. Now, obviously, just what you're eating is only one part of the picture. So we started to look at her online journal. We started to record not only what she ate, but how and why she ate. And when we were doing it, it was not about having the perfect food diary, but it was about what we can learn from these eating events. So she was starting to learn to become her own food detective, her own coach, as it were. And we looked at hunger signals. We worked on the hunger scale and looked at how she could interpret when she was feeling full and when she was feeling hungry, and to stop when she was feeling just full so that she wasn't overeating. So we really worked on that, and it does take work and time to really get present with those hunger signals. We started to look at her habit loops and troubleshooting specific situations and triggers. And with so many people, they have common triggers that happen over and over again. So it's really important to identify those triggers, get that awareness, and work on troubleshooting ways around them. We did a lot of work on her mindset, on her belief system and her values. And also we did some work on her body image, which goes hand in hand with this and is absolutely key. So she really did put the work in. She did work hard on this. She did her tasks, she engaged in the program, and she made amazing progress in a very short space of time. Now, for everybody, the amount of time that they take to overcome this varies quite a lot, and that's okay. It's more about thinking, what improvements can you make step by step, day by day. And it's improvements in your mindset, improvements in how you're feeling and how you're feeling about yourself. So she said in the end, I completely got rid of my all or nothing mentality around food. I stopped punishing myself anytime I thought I ate something I shouldn't have. And I don't binge or starve myself like I used to. It's such a massive achievement to accomplish. And I love that she had acknowledged her achievements. She completely shifted how she felt about herself within this time. It's almost like now there were no limits on what she could achieve in her life. And that's what was so inspiring. And it is a wonderful story, but she's not alone. And if this is something that you struggle with, I just want to share that it is possible to overcome it. And you can completely turn your life around in this way and change your life. Martina's story isn't just inspiring, it's proof that with the right support and strategies that you too can achieve long-lasting results and change in your life. I've shared my approach in my upcoming book, The Binge Freedom Method, which will be published very shortly in the autumn. But in the meantime, please do download my free guide, Breaking the Cycle. And this will give you 4 key initial steps that you need to take to start your journey to change. You can download this wherever you're watching this video. Just look for the link. Until next time.